Hey!
What's up everyone, this is Strife and welcome back to Genshin Guides. Today we'll be taking a look over Mondstadt's resident gliding champion, Amber. Amber is a 4-star pyro bow user who also happens to be the first playable character you recruit into your party along with Traveler. In this video we'll be taking a look over Amber's stats, talents, and team compositions along with an analysis on how to use her in-game. I've left timestamps in each section, so feel free to skip to each part you see you need most. Now, onto her stats. Battle Royale Simulator has a base HP of 793, an attack rating of 42, and 50 defense. Amber's base stats favor HP over defense, and her attack is pretty average. However, when compared to the other characters in the game, her stats are on the lower end of the spectrum. This isn't all too uncommon considering that she is an archer. Moving on to Amber's combat talents, her normal and charged attack is Sharpshooter, which shoots 5 consecutive shots normally, and when held down, the arrow can be charged to significantly increase range and also deal pyro damage. Her elemental skill is Explosive Bunny, which deploys an aimable time bomb that will taunt enemies. It will also have a portion of Amber's HP and will explode once enemies destroy it, or after 9 seconds. This is on a 15-second cooldown. And her elemental burst is Fiery Rain, which shoots a barrage of flaming arrows from the sky, dealing AoE pyro damage onto a targeted area. For passive talents, Amber has Every Arrow Finds a Target, which increases the crit rate of Fiery Rain by 10% and its AoE by 30%. This is unlocked upon first ascension. Another one of her passive talents is Precise Shot, which increases base attack by 15% when hitting weak spots onto enemies with your normal attack, and it lasts for 10 seconds. And this is unlocked after reaching 4th Ascension. And her final passive is Champion Glider, and it decreases the party's gliding stamina consumption by 20%. For Ascension materials, Amber is going to require 168 small lamp grasses, 46 Everflame seeds, 18 firm arrowheads, 30 sharp arrowheads, 40 historic arrowheads, 1 Agnatus agate sliver, 9 fragments, 9 chunks, and 6 gemstones. Grasses are found in the wild during nighttime in Wolvendom and in the Whispering Woods. Seeds are dropped by the level 30 plus Pyro Regis Vine, and it is located south of Kuiji Slope. Firm arrowheads are dropped by range hilichurls, sharp arrowheads are dropped by level 40 plus range hilichurls or can be crafted with 3 firm arrowheads each. Historic arrowheads are dropped by level 60 plus range hilichurls or can be crafted with 3 sharp arrowheads each. Slivers are also dropped by the Pyro Regis Vine, or it can be obtained as rewards from the weekly Wolf of the North challenge, which is located in Wolvendom. Or it can be purchased in the souvenir shop. Fragments are dropped by the level 40 plus Regis Vine or from the 40 plus Wolf. Or it can be crafted with 3 slivers each. Chunks are dropped by the level 60 plus Pyro Regis Vine and the 60 plus Wolf, and this is crafted with 3 fragments each. And finally, gemstones are dropped by the level 75 plus Pyro Regis Vine and the 75 plus Wolf, and it can be crafted with 3 chunks each. As for Constellations, obtaining 1 copy of Bunny Girl Senpai will unlock 1 arrow to rule them all, which increases the shots fired for your charged attack to 2, and the second arrow deals 20% of the first arrow's damage. Getting 2 copies of her will unlock Bunny Triggered, which allows you to manually blow up Baron Bunny by shooting a normally charged arrow at its foot, and it deals 200% additional damage. Obtaining 3 copies of Amber will give you It Burns, which increases the level of Fiery Rain by 3, and raises the maximum upgrade level to 15. If you manage to pull 4 copies of her, it's not just any bunny is unlocked, and it increases the ammo count for Explosive Bunny by 1, and reduces its cooldown by 20%. Rolling 5 Ambers will unlock its Baron Bunny, which increases the level of Explosive Puppet by 3 and raises its maximum upgrade level to 15. And finally, if you obtain 6 copies of Amber, you will receive Wildfire, which has Fiery Rain increase the team's movement speed by 15% and also base attack by 15% for 10 seconds. Amber works best as an initial damage dealer on the team. Being a free archer, she grants any player pyro range capabilities, which can be useful for inflicting pyro status effects onto enemies at a range. Not to mention, she is ideal for blowing up barrows and Hilichurl settlements. Other than that, her main gimmick comes from Explosive Bunny, which has an ability unique to itself, which is baiting enemies. This can come in handy for large mobs and stronger enemies. The bomb serves as a good way to set up some attacks for big burst damage as well. And when it comes to artifacts and weapon builds, I would recommend focusing on attack damage and critical damage. Being an archer, she has a naturally high attack speed with her non-charged attack and sharpshooter, so her potential as a crit DPS becomes a lot more consistent due to this fact. It is also worth mentioning that if you land crits on either her normal attacks or on Baron Bunny, the damage would be devastating, especially paired with her second passive Precise Shot. Her crit damage on her charged arrow would be... For team comps, ideally you would want to pair Amber with any Electro users who can sustain damage output, such as Lisa or Fischl, since Pyro and Electro synergize particularly well to cause massive burst damage. In Lisa's case, her Charged Elemental skill and Elemental Burst both create an AoE field of very long-lasting electro damage and status effect, while Fischl's Elemental skill basically creates an auto turret that can inflict constant stream of electro damage. The key strategy is to have your enemies inflicted with electro damage for long enough to have Amber charge her pyro arrows to deal heavy overcharge damage. It is also worth noting that chaining Amber and Lisa's elemental burst together results in... Moving on to final thoughts on Amber, I think Amber is a decent character, especially for new players. She appears in the story at the point where you can start experimenting around with elemental combinations. Other than that, she barely makes the cut as a damage dealer. I'm rating Amber bottom tier, because her compatibility onto various teams is pretty limited, and her kit doesn't synergize well enough for most teams compared to other characters. Having her pyro capabilities tied to a charge time and an actual time bomb, her output becomes pretty unreliable, and Amber can't be as consistent with her pyro damage compared to the other characters in the same element. However, what she lacks in combat strength, she makes up in team utility. Her third passive helps a lot with exploration and general movement around the map, as gliding is the fastest form of travel outside of teleporting. And her Baron Bunny has an extremely unique mechanic that can draw in enemies' attentions and can also come in handy for various puzzles in the map that require multiple waypoints. Also, being the only Pyro Bow user out at the time, she makes unlocking treasure chests with multiple activation torches a breeze. I think Amber is definitely viable, especially in the early game, if you don't have a dedicated DPS yet, and can be very fun in trying different plays with her bomb. However, other than that, there are better choices when it comes to both archers and Pyro users. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy this type of content, and I'll see you next time when we take a look at everyone's favorite Ice Knight, Kaya. Until then, see ya.